NUFC Talk. Thank you very much for downloading. Thanks for subscribing. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're smashing the subscribe button, press the little bell even, and leave us a comment of how you're enjoying the channel so far. And if you're on Spotify or Google Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star review. Jan, how are you?
I am good, mate. Yeah, good.
Are you missing the Premier League yet?
Yeah, I am.
Any withdrawals? Was it 3 weeks in now, was it?
The cricket's helped.
The cricket helped, yeah.
Aye. My symptoms actually, I was fairly ill over the weekend.
Was that your stuff at the international friendlies, or were you actually?
Yeah, I think it was withdrawal from that, but it was. I don't want to get graphic on the YouTube channel. I was pretty ill, so
yeah.
I'm only feeling normal today. Raging thirst. This Stella isn't helping. The raging thirst.
Stella, that gets recommended for people who've just been ill and dehydration.
That pint of vodka is definitely not helping. But no, I'm good. Yeah. I am missing football, and the Nations League isn't helping.
I was going to ask, what do you think of the Nations League?
I think the concept is good. I mean, when you think we'd be playing the World Cup right now,
do you think the players would just benefit from the rest?
Yeah, I do.
Because to be honest, I haven't watched loads of it. I've watched bits in the background. We had a family party here Saturday, so I had like the England-Italy game on in the background. But from what I watched, it just looked a bit flat, and there wasn't the competitiveness of you seeing major competitions or even qualifiers of that.
A lot of rotation, isn't there? Like Gallagher started tonight. Reece James went left back. Bellingham's got a lot of football, which has got quite a few starts.
Jared Bowen's getting a few chances as well.
Jared Bowen's getting a few, which I like. But yeah, I don't know. I'm caught into it because I'm going to contradict myself because we could be watching the World Cup, which is awesome.
Should have started last week, shouldn't it?
I should have started last week, which would be also awesome. But if England played anything like they played the last few games, it's a good job we're not playing the World Cup anytime soon because we've been hopeless, haven't we? So
might bode well for Callum Wilson when they realise they need another tap option behind Harry Kane.
Well, they don't. They just need more defenders if you're Gareth Southgate. Yeah.
So therefore, Lascelles, Big Dan Burn.
Is Emil Kraft? Is he English? Is he? Aye, but nah, rubbish.
Anyway, we won't get into an England rant because I'm sure you guys and girls haven't downloaded this for England chat because it's not very entertaining at the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't already, get us on Twitter. You can get the pod on the handle NUFC Talk Pod. You can get me directly on Glenn_NUFC.
At Yanis NUFC.
And we've just launched the Instagram page as well, which is NUFC Talk. So come and find us on Insta. TikTok is NUFC Talk Pod.
Yeah.
So yeah, wherever you want to come and grab us, we'll be kicking them up there.
And Google Podcasts is new. That's just gone out. All episodes on there. And then Apple Pods will be hopefully the next couple of weeks.
And last week was our best download. So thank you very much for everyone who's been downloading. Also, welcome, hello. I haven't been learning any new languages this week, but we can say hello to our new listeners in Finland, Australia, Sweden, and also Mexico as well. So cheers for downloading.
Brilliant.
Hopefully our accents are coming across well in Swedish. Maybe it's Kraft family.
Maybe. Speaking of Kraft, should we get into a bit of Emil Kraft?
Go for it.
So
I have to move this stool. Banging me.
So Newcastle, they had the little video went out a couple of weeks back about player's player, and everyone voted for Joel in that kind of thing. So they had a new one go out, I think it was yesterday or today, which was basically unsung heroes.
Okay.
It must have been video at the same filmed at the same time, but they asked players who the unsung hero was of the season. There was a few mentions for Shelby, one for Freddie Fernandez from like Longstaff, which is basically he was like, what? He's like he said something which is quite good actually. He said something like, never wants praise, but he's in like the gym every day. He does all the stretching. He goes all his business. He's like the perfect professional, but never looks for any sort of accolades. Just goes about being a good professional. And he's like, it's good for like a young player like me to see that, which I thought was quite good for like a good pro. Trippier got a mention. Bradford got a mention. Clark got a mention.
What?
Big Dan Burn mentioned. Big Dan Burn's unsung hero was Clark.
That's quite clever though, because if Clark never got sent off, Dan Burn might never have got signed for Newcastle. If Kevin Clark proved he could defend, was reliable, and didn't give out ridiculous red cards and hook people on tours, then Dan Burn might never have got the call.
Well, that's what Dan Burn said. Dan Burn said that guy on tour, I never liked him, so I'm glad Kieran Clark, give him a dig. No, he basically said that he's not in the 25-man squad, and it would have been easy for him to sulk and make it difficult, but he's been a sort of professional in training and stuff, which is good high five to him.
But he's still a professional. He's on tens of thousands of pounds a week. Like,
yeah.
People like us pay to go to the gym.
Aye. What, you want me to turn up and do my job for these like millions a year? You're crazy. But obviously Kraft got the most votes.
Kraft?
Yeah, a lot of people voted for Kraft. I think he got like way more votes than anybody else. And I was thinking, who like if you think of like, there was a few. So like Longstaff was like, change people's opinions. Trippier was like, look, he's not number one, right? But I am. We all know that. He's shite. I'm class, but he's done all right. But now he got quite a few votes, and I was thinking like, if who would be your unsung hero?
Well, I hadn't seen this video until you mentioned it. But as soon as I thought of unsung hero for the season,
Steve Bruce.
The name which popped mine straight away was Shelby.
Yeah.
Because he had a bit of a nightmare start. I don't think he fitted into that playing two in the middle because he just didn't have the legs to play with just one of the centre mid.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you switched to three, him playing that quarterback holding role, I thought he did it really well. And at one point before he picked that little niggle where he missed a few games under Eddie Howe, it showed you the points per game with Shelby.
It's mad, isn't it?
Without him. And I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but it was night and day, and we were so much better as a team with Shelby playing there. And at the time, this was when Dan Burn was getting a lot of praise even from us because we stopped conceding 3 a game. Trippier obviously scored 2 free kicks and was showing he was another level. Joe Linton was a reformed player.
Yeah.
But Shelby seemed to be just doing his job, and I always thought maybe he was a unsung hero. What about yourself?
I think, I kind of agree, but I think Shelby was kind of sung, if you think, in a way, if you think about Bruno not getting a start. I was certainly one that was saying you can't start Bruno when Willock, John Joe and...
You can't say Bruno's an unsung hero.
No, I know, but I know. Somebody did. Somebody voted for Bruno to be... I don't think... who was it now? Somebody didn't understand the question because he was very much a sung hero.
I can say he had his own name before. He only played like 3 minutes off the bench.
I think it was it was Richie. I think Richie's unsung hero was the Kitman Tomo, which is a nice shout, but also Bruno, who was very much a sung hero. But
maybe it was a dig because he took his song.
That's what he also says, that he says that he took my song as well. But I think when Bruno wasn't getting a start, it was because Shelby, John Joe, and Big Joe were playing so well. Shelby is John Joe. Joe, John Joe. Joe Willock, Joe Linton, and John Joe.
Sorry.
All the Joes,
paid full attention. Yeah, mate, sorry.
All the Joes.
Yeah.
So, and I was one that was saying you can't stop Bruno because Shelby's playing so well. Because Bruno's meant to come in and play that the deeper role, wasn't he? So I reckon Kraft is probably a fair shout. I think he got voted. It was Kraft from Shaw, Trippier, Targett, Lascelles.
Shaw's maybe another good shout as well, you know.
Yeah, Shaw got voted by Kraft himself. Kraft was like, obviously it's me, I'm class. But but he said something like, it's been super easy to play alongside him since he came back in the side. So yeah, I do think Kraft though. I reckon Kraft. I think it's a fair shout that because his redemption story isn't the levels of Joe Linton's, but certainly I didn't think he was a footballer.
Well, let us know in the comments whether you're on Twitter, TikTok, Insta, or YouTube. Who do you think is Newcastle's unsung player of the season?
And then the other thing, a bit of news is finally no more paddling pools, no more paddling pools full of ice, no more wheelie bins full of ice buckets, full of ice for a place to jump in. We're getting a state of the art training ground. So if you saw in the news recently, there was pictures emerging of the renovations of the state of the training ground at Benton.
There was a few diggers and a bit of ground being dug up, so hopefully it's not just a new car park that they're putting down.
No, so it's going to be state-of-the-art hydrotherapy, plunge pools, which if you remember those photos of paddling pools, like kids paddling pools, just filled with ice.
It's mental,
mad, isn't it mad that, the Premier League side. I mean, that is, if you think about that, for a Premier League, an established, not just like a Blackpool or some random set that's got promoted and like his chancellor their arm doesn't want to spend any cash because they're like, can't believe they're there. But an established Premier League side relegated at the top flight a few times, and it's in the last 30 years or whatever.
You mentioned that there was I was listening to Talk Sport when I was driving the office this morning, and Harry Redknapp was on, and he was talking about when he was managing was it Portsmouth, and how they didn't have their own training facilities at one point, and they were borrowing Southampton's for a bit, and they had to leave certain days by 11 o'clock to get there early. They went and used the university's facilities some days, and they only had cold running water for 6 months when they were down there. And it's just mad. I know it's just going back a few years, but it's just...
And they had some players at the time, didn't they, as well?
Yeah. It was when he
Diarra and...
put down that super team again, didn't he?
So he spent all the cash and just buggered off.
Yeah.
Well, spent the cash that wasn't really there, then buggered off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be hydrotherapy, plunge pools, players' lounge, state-of-the-art medical treatment room, changing room upgrade, new offices. So it's going to be pretty Gucci.
Maybe Steve Bruce just didn't need an office because he wasn't there.
Yeah. Office? I had an office, did I? Nah.
He just thought he had a seat in the dugout. And that was it.
I thought it was a storeroom. But yeah, that's good, and it's kind of proven that Staveley is true to her word, because she said early doors, didn't she? We're going to improve facilities, and obviously Eddie Howe said that as well. We're going to make it as easy as possible for the players to be successful. So it's good that they are being true to their word.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. It's like, surely it's more appealing as well.
Yeah, totally. Like if you're showing a player around, or even if just information like that gets around to fans like us, so professionals or people that's looking at clubs and agents, they're gonna know stuff like that.
100%.
You imagine when they send across like paperwork, they're going to be putting this in, like, this is our new training grounds, this is the vision for the team, when they're trying to sell the concept of
the brand of being part of Newcastle United, like, rather than like, I can remember some of the videos didn't even look like a pure gym. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a budget, like it was like some old gym in the
looked like a sports hall from like when we were in school. And it's a few years since we've been in school.
It's upturned benches, that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's good. I think that's a couple of bits of news that are come out of Newcastle, which I think is positive.
And also one other bit of news as well, which we all are grateful for. Maybe we thought it was off at one point, was a certain left back.
Yes,
Matty Targett.
Yeah,
is a permanent feature and a permanent signing for Newcastle.
Yeah, no brainer for me, like, absolute no brainer.
Yeah, so it's 15 million, which included the 3 million loan fee. So we purchased him for 12 plus that add-on.
Yeah, even 15 million in total, just put that all together is like one fee. Mm-hmm. What does that get you now? 15 million.
My target. You're not listening.
Oh, yeah, it's good. But no, if you go and spend 15 million now in the Premier League, other than Matt Targett, what else does it get you?
It gets you Dele Alli's leg.
It gets you a squad player.
Yeah.
It really gets you a squad player. You think you've got a starting left back who's had a brilliant season. Season before was the player of the season for Villa. I know Grealish left, he probably would have got it, but like, still.
Ever present, yeah.
Yeah, he's played every minute, I think, since Newcastle signed him. I'm sure he played every minute, didn't he?
He's played every minute, but also the season before for Villa, he was ever present as well. So he's proven that he's robust, doesn't get injured, and for him to be able to play every single minute, it just shows you that you don't need to put too much backup in place. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
you can probably guarantee. Well, without
we're probably
touch wood,
him, he's going to break his leg in the first game.
Yeah, him and Trippier run at each other. But I think it's a. I said it like since the end of the season, he was a no-brainer. Got to get signed. They all talk of like Lodi and stuff like that, but I didn't understand going and spending huge money when you've got. For me, it's a bit of it's a safer option.
Yeah,
because
he knows the Premier League.
Yeah, his fitness record speaks for itself. He's fitted into the team.
Yeah.
He's clearly wanted by people in the team. If you think like Bruno hugging him and the whole agent Bruno thing, and him being like he's got to sign him up and stuff. He looks like he wants to be here. So all those factors are important in terms of you don't have a set when you're going to sign 5 or 6 players and one is already settled. Well, that's a pussy bonus.
Totally.
Because you don't need to settle a player in, but also like you have to think of who's in front of him. He's a really good defensive left back.
Yeah. So allows Maxman to go on his little ventures.
I think so. I think so. You don't want to have like a Davide Santon or somebody who's quite an attacking player, but very cool switching off, that kind of thing.
He's probably lost a yard of pace nowadays as well.
But do you know what I mean? The worry of having like a really attacking left back is in behind him. That whole left side would be sort of, it's a lot of work for old Big Dan Burn to get through. he's got to cover both Maxi and the attacking left back.
He's got a good stride on us.
But make it Kieran Clark, he's unsung hero. But I think an absolute no-brainer, and also it's a snip. It's an absolute snip.
If you think about our fullbacks, we've got 2 starting Premier League fullbacks. One's an international. One potentially could be for 25 million combined price. No, 27, 28 million, whatever it is. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great business.
Like, you see the top teams, like how much did United play for Wan-Bissaka? Was it
50 million, I think, wasn't it?
50 million, and he's like...
They bought Alex Telles for like 30, no play him.
Mental, isn't it? When you see like big clubs make mistakes, and look, granted, every club makes mistakes. Newcastle's made plenty of howlers over the years, but for that bit of business there to come in and fill in your first choice left back and right back for under 30 million, when
you stick Dan Burn in there as well, by the way.
Yeah, 13 million as well. Like,
yeah, so you've plugged 3 worrying parts of your back 4 basically for
what's that? 40 million combined.
I mean, that's when people are like, just we'll get to the bottom, I'm sure.
When you say Harry Maguire?
No, I know that's it. But I say, I get you half a Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
When people, that's mad, isn't it? That, by the way.
Or not even Wan-Bissaka.
Crackers, that, isn't it? Absolutely crackers. But when you think about you've essentially rebuilt a back 4 because Shah wasn't playing anyway, and he was free. He was already there.
It's like
it's really good
came in and said, "Who's that kid kicking the ball by himself over there?" Oh, it's just a Swiss international. No one knows who his name is. Bruce just banished him. Oh, any good centre half, lad?
That's it, innit? That's why Kieran Clark was start swinging punches there. But I think it's the business that I think the club really need to do. There's no point in just people are screaming, "Oh, just pay more money and just always keep splashing the cash." Just if it's 10 more, just pay it. Nah, because that's what we'll always be paying more money.
Yeah.
I think you've got to be shrewd and sensible, and you've got to mop up some talent from the teams that we can mop it up from, that are, and you get some established pros. I mean, Targett's 25?
26.
He's 26. So he's got 6-7 years.
Well, he's got I know Trippier's 32, so you think like the
so he's got 2 seasons on it, probably.
Yeah, the peak of players now is normally 26 to 32 ish, thereabouts. So we've probably got the best 6 years of his career. Are we going to have him as first choice for all 6 years? Probably not, but he's going to be a good backup for 2 or 3. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I reckon Matt Targett can get us established as a top 8 side. He can play left back for Newcastle next 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And
plus, he could develop as well.
And then when he's going into the next level, the next stage, that's when he gets a high five. Thank you very much, and he's off on his merry way. And I'm sure he gets well remunerated for his services. But I'm not saying he's the player that's got a glass ceiling like Ekitike has or whatever. But yeah, I think it's an absolute no brainer for me. Like, yeah, so I'm chuffed a bit.
And I think from a lot of Newcastle fans, from what we've read online and people who spoke to us and dropped us messages on the sites, thank you very much. But there hasn't been one negative comment, not one person said.
A couple of Villa fans.
Yeah, a couple of Villa fans describing him as Deadwood. Like,
mad, isn't it?
Ridiculous, isn't it? But yeah, we won't get into Aston Villa right now. But was it last week when you had that tweet which went viral where it was about the Villa stuff?
Yeah.
To forge a rivalry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Villa fans didn't react too well to that one.
I know, funny that, but nothing in it for me, like.
Nah. So what we got next? Do you want to go under a quiz, mate? Make it a bit lighthearted. Mix up.
Let's do it.
Talk. Okay, so here we go. I know I've had some good feedback from these, so I thought I would put my friend Yanis through a quiz, and it is the quiz of 2021-22 season.
End of the season quiz.
End of the season quiz. We've got 10 questions based on the season that's just passed. Let us know how you get on. And Jan, good luck, my friend. So, on the 20th of October, Steve Bruce and Newcastle United parted ways through mutual consent.
Yeah.
How many games did Steve Bruce managed of the season? So we're just talking Premier League. All these questions are just Premier League based. So it's not any cup games. How many Premier League games did Steve Bruce manage for us this season?
7.
Final answer.
You see, I hate this financial thing because I'm like, now I think it's 8 all of a sudden, but I'm going to say 7.
8.
Oh!
So yeah, his record was played 8, won 0, drew 3, and lost 5.
Should have beat Watford.
There's a few games we should have saw.
I mean, should have definitely won Southampton. Maxi scored in the last the last kick of the game. We still drew.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Then they went back up the other end. Was it a penalty?
The cells diving in, wasn't it? I'm sure.
Yeah. It's like the first of his 3 penalties of the season he gave away. But yeah, if you look back to the start of the season, you realise how unfit we were as a squad. And it wasn't just like the odd 1 or 2 players. It's almost like the team just like someone grabbed hold of the speed button and just dropped the whole squad down. Yeah,
the amount of I think weren't we top of the league for goals conceded in the last 15 minutes or something for a long time basically. Like.
It was ridiculous. Like you think back to the start of the season, it was just a horrible watch, and
points were never safe, were they?
Sorry?
Points were never safer.
Nah, never. Because at one point we were the highest, you said goals conceded, but also points that would give away, because we used to take the lead in a lot of games as well. And it was just incredible at throwing away leads because of the fitness levels.
Yeah.
And then Bruce's last game was that Tottenham one, wasn't it? When
Aye. Yeah.
When just got
Wilson's
just got taken over, yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Number 1.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking 7 games before that. 7 games at the takeover. I forgot that Spurs game, I think.
Yeah. So there we go. Got you, mate. 0 point. Last season, we paid money for 5 players. Can you name the 5 players? So it's not, there was like some random kids that came on which we got on freeze. There's 5 players that we paid for, not including Target. He's not including that. He's this season, last season.
So paid money for 5 players.
We paid cash for 5 players. Can you name the 5 players?
Trippier, Big Dan Burn,
12 million. Big Dan Burn, 13 million.
Bruno,
33.3 million.
Big Chris Wood,
25 million.
Joe Willock.
And Joe Willock.
Try to sneak one in, didn't you there? Try to sneak one in there.
Yeah, it's a Joe Willock, 25 million. So yeah, 5 players. Because I almost forgot about Joe Willock as well when I was doing some...
Didn't want to come, did he?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
I thought he'd seem settled. He went on that big scoring run. You don't think he wanted to come?
Nah, I think he wanted to go back to Arsenal and play for Arsenal.
Well, I think that's maybe why because he had a really slow start. I know he had a niggle at the start, didn't he? But
I think he's probably told by Arteta, you're not going to get a game. You're not going to play. Because they weren't in Europe, were they? Are they in Europe? They weren't in Europe. Whereas he played a lot the season before, if you remember. He played so a lot of his games have been like European games, and they've been in Europa League and stuff like that. And I think he got told he's not going to play. So
do you think we paid over the top for him? 25 million?
Nah, 25 million for a early 20s midfielder with a goal in him in the Premier League. Nah.
No.
Yeah. I don't think we paid over the top for him. Mate. I think it's par for the course these days. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, 25. Luca Digne, left back, solid left back, 25 million. I think it's a pretty good signing. That it's pretty good value. That. Okay. You think of some of the other money that gets sent. I mean, obviously, it's got the English tax on it.
Yeah.
If you like, but. I mean, he had just scored 7 goals in 7 games or something daft like that, and basically kept us in the league. So,
yeah, every goal he scored, his value was going up like 2.5 million, wasn't it?
I actually really like Joe Willock. I think he is a player that can play 15 games, and and even as we progress, he's got good energy, runs with the ball well. If he can learn to stay in games for longer periods, because what I find is he sometimes goes missing.
Yeah.
But he's got good feet, like he's got good energy, and he's got a goal in him. Arrive in the box like late, like he's probably a goal scorer midfielder, but doesn't contribute enough elsewhere. If he can learn to contribute more in games, I think he's a decent player. I'm a big fan.
It'd be good to see him with the pre-season under Eddie Howe and how he wants him to play.
100%, yeah.
Because he's probably learned to play the Arsenal way, which is 4-2-3-1. Then he learned the Steve Bruce way, which is just
Kick the ball in the air.
Kick the ball, yeah, pass it to Maxi, or just see what happens. And then Eddie Howe's coming with a different philosophy in how he wants to play. So as a young player, I suppose it would be pretty difficult to keep adapting.
I know, because Arsenal through and through, he was there since he was like 4 something like that, wasn't he? So, but I think if he can drill into him being that number 8, yeah, or one of them off the bench, on the bench, whatever. Like,
cool. All right, you're 1 from 2, mate. Question number 3. How many times did Paul Dummett feature in the Premier League for Newcastle this season?
Can't be many. Can't remember him starting early doors. He was injured, wasn't
If
he?
you get it within a couple, I'll give you a point for it.
I reckon it's 3. I reckon it's only like something like 3, maybe 4. I'm going to say 4. I'm going 4. I don't know why. I was going to say 3.
Final answer.
3.
The answer is 3. Yeah. So you appeared 2 times starting, twice starting, and he came off the bench once as well. So Dummett 3 times. He's had such a plagued season for injuries and
Couple, hasn't he, really? Has he ever been really fit?
Well, yeah, if you remember under Rafa, at one point he was the most played player under Rafa Benitez, wasn't he? Where he was just a regular go-to. He just slotted in and.
Was he? Did he play on the left side of the 3 and the back, or did he play left
No,
back?
Rafa had 2 banks forward.
Oh, didn't he? But not always. Sometimes he played 3 at the back. Sometimes he played 6 at the back, 8 at the back, and a Rafa.
Yeah, no, the formation was debatable at times, wasn't it?
I wouldn't have anything bad said about him though. Big fan.
He did the job.
Aye. No contract. Funny that, innit? No contract for him.
Well, maybe if they knew that Target was going to come in, he's a robust player. So you only need someone that can play potentially 3 games a season. Dummett's the perfect backup.
Look, also local, homegrown, all that sort of stuff. Like your quota
Ticks the box. Yeah. It's a bit horrible to think of a player like that. You've got a contract to tick the
I'm
box.
sure he'll be alright with his cash.
Yeah.
If you're injured and can't play anyway, you might as well be injured and can't play for your home club.
Yeah.
Go anywhere.
You can go on your mum and dad's for Sunday night.
Exactly, aye. Eat what you want to because you ain't playing on Saturday.
Question number 4, mate. So you're 2 from 3.
Take that, mate.
Good job. Callum Wilson was leading goal scorer for Newcastle United with 8 goals in the Premier League. 2 players were joint second with 5 goals.
Maxi and Bruno.
Yes.
Maxi and Bruno. Yeah. I was looking at, what was I looking at the other day? I was looking at some stats the other day for some reason. And I sort of ended up in a little scroll mission through. Callum Wilson scored 8 and Maxi and Bruno both scored 5. I think after that it's Shaw and like a couple of us on 2 or something. Trippier, Shaw, Shelby or something on 2 each.
Again, it just shows you that's going to be one of the big things we've got to find other goals from other places.
Goals from midfield, yeah. Big Joe's got 3, hasn't he? He's header, and he's 2 in a game. So he's got 3. And 4.
Got 1 against.
He scored a left footer that popped off to him. I can't remember who it was against in the box.
He scored against Brentford at home. 2 at
Norwich, and the
Norwich,
header.
And Brentford away.
Aye.
That's a header.
Aye.
4.
So you got 4.
Yeah, it must be 4. Yeah. Yeah. So if you can get.
He should probably play him up front actually.
You thought playing with, yeah. So if you can get Bruno up to 8 to 10 a season with his ratio and Maxi with some coaching, all them goals are the ones that's massively going to help you, not relying on Wilson then.
Do you think the role of the midfielder has changed though? Do midfielders score as many goals as they used to? Like the Scholes and the Gerrards and the Lampards of the world, are they not a forgotten thing? Because you don't play with 2 up top anymore and 1 breaking into mid from the ball, 1 up top. You play with these wide players, and your wide players are no longer servicing forwards and midfielders. Your wide players are on the end of what. Do you know what I mean? If top goal scorer is Son, wide player, Salah, wide player, Mahrez, wide player. Like they're all the top, except for obviously strikers like Kane and stuff like that, and Vardy and all those. But other than that, Your top goal scorers. Salah, Mane, like all these players.
Sterling got a bunch in for City, hasn't he?
Always does. Always plays
3.
right. Yeah. So I think Mahrez, Sterling, Mane, Salah, Son. Kulusevski scored a few since coming in. They're all wide players, like so. It's. I think you got to get those front 3 scoring goals. If you can get those front 3 scoring, in the rest chip in. If Bruno can do 5+ and get 5 assists 10 assists next season, I'm delighted with that.
Well, I suppose if you look at it from a team point of view, like our wide players, we've got Maxi who's scored 5. The other side, which has been a problem, because I think that's where we do have a drop down. Like, I mean, he's got 1.
That was a worldie, like, but
Murphy, I'm not sure if he even scored this season, did he?
Nah, I kept it in the post with Dings, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which I love the keeper. Fraser's got a couple, didn't he? Or 1, 2.
I think.
I got a tap in that came across the box. He got the one where Murphy at the post, didn't he?
So, maybe you're right, yeah. That's something which is going to be addressed. I mean,
that's what I think. Maxi's the big one. If you get Maxi, get him in double figures.
He's a conference player, isn't he?
Aye.
Which Premier League player? Because they all are. Which Newcastle player started the most Premier League games?
Started the most Premier League games.
Obviously for Newcastle.
Aye. I don't think it was because Bradford didn't play at the start of the season.
Do you want the number of games?
I got then.
It's 31.
31, that's quite a lot, that. I mean, it's not. Not with our squad, really.
Yeah, that was quite low considering we don't really have a very good squad.
I've only got 12 players.
Yeah.
Shelby. I'm going to say Shelby, I think. I'm trying to think whether... trying to think who else would have played those. Kraft played quite a bit, actually. I'm going to go Shelby. Dubravka Shelby.
Final answer.
Shelby.
Final answer.
Dubravka.
The answer is St. Maximin.
Oh, Saint! Oh, of course he did, didn't he? Oh, of course he did, yeah. Oh, that's a no-brainer, that.
Yeah, I thought you would have got that one, mate.
I do love Saint.
Sorry, you still doing well. 3 from 5. Question number 6. Newcastle's biggest win in the season. Who was it against and what was the score? Biggest win.
3-0 against Norwich.
Correct.
Aye.
Yeah. April 23rd.
Yeah.
Right, it shows you how bad Norwich are, and we were when we first played them. I know there's a few things happened that game, but yeah, Norwich definitely deserved to go down. Is there anyone you would take from Norwich?
I would have taken Todd Cantwell pre-takeover. I would have taken Todd Cantwell when they went down last time. I couldn't believe we didn't try and sign him.
Because you were shouting about him, I remember that, for pretty much all of the season. And then he didn't seem to get a shout with, what was the first manager they had?
Daniel Farke. He didn't get looking at Dean Smith, which was surprising. But
yeah, I was going to say, then under Dean Smith, so that's 2 managers.
But he played under Daniel Farke the first time they were up, and he scored a handful of goals.
But then do you not think there's something wrong there if 2 managers have looked at him? Norwich, who were fucking shite, bottom of the league, and he still couldn't get a look in? There's obviously something wrong there.
I'm not sure. Don't know. Maybe, but maybe he just needs a change. I think he's a player in there. I'm not saying he's Conor Gallagher standard, but he's Conor Gallagher kind of player. Maybe he's more of a 10, maybe, I don't know. But
nah.
He's probably not as rude. But no, I'm not saying he's as good as Conor Gallagher. I'm a big fan of Conor Gallagher.
Gallagher's more of an 8.
He's probably more of a 10. He's probably more of a 10, yeah. But I would have taken him a while back. Nah. Quilton sit on the bench. Bring him back home. For that assist on Bruno.
Question number 7. Also a Norwich-based question. An easy one, mate. Which player was sent off against Norwich, which made Eddie Howe have the revolutionary decision to put Big Joe into the midfield?
Big Dan Burns, unsung hero. Kieran Clark,
correct. A nice easy one, but I thought that was a huge moment of the season.
Getting red card, knocking folk out on tours.
Yeah. As much as that was at the time was an absolute calamity. I remember being at the game, and that was one of the low points of the season, I think. Even though we'd been taken over, but Norwich at home, that was a must win at the time, because no one could see the run we were going to go on. No one could see what was going to happen. Norwich at home,
It was only bettered or worst by Watford at home.
Watford, yeah, that was a terrible one. So at the time, that was a horrific moment. Had the pleasure of both games. So Kieran Clark, because everyone was like, it's must win. I was like, was it the 8th or 9th minute, if I remember rightly?
Yeah.
Kieran Clark dragged him down, and the whole place was just like, what the fuck?
Well, he makes the first mistake, doesn't he? He makes the first mistake as well, and then drags him down after. So he makes 2 mistakes. Like just take the goal.
Yeah.
He's also got to beat the keeper as well.
Yeah, that early on, you've got to back your keeper. You can't be taking a red card in the 9th minute.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Then a 6-pointer.
I know.
But yeah, if it wasn't for him, you're right though. Definitely the unsung hero for Big Blackburn and Joe Linton.
And Joe Linton, aye.
Yeah. Number 8, Dubravka. Has kept 8 clean sheets in 27 Premier League appearances. So that's your answer to.
Oh yes, he's 4 behind.
Yeah, so he played 27 games, kept 8 clean sheets. Prior to that, Darlow played 8 Premier League games this season. Young Woodman played 5, so they played 13 games between them. How many clean sheets did they keep? Premier League games only.
How many clean sheets did they keep? 0.
Final answer.
I can't. We didn't win any of those games, and I can't remember a 0-0 draw. I can't remember a 0-0 draw. I can't. I don't think they were they involved in any wins? How was it? How many games did they play?
So Darlow played 8 and Woodman played 5.
And when did we pick our first win? Was it post 30? Was they involved in the Leeds game? But were they?
That wasn't the first win.
Burnley was the first win.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking were they involved? One. I want to say 1.
Final answer.
1.
Final answer.
1. Hi. Final answer.
None.
I do hit that final answer malarkey. Like.
Yeah. So where are we at now? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 from 8. Should have been 6.
Dubravka made a class save at Leeds, so definitely wasn't there. And
Number 9. We received 2 red cards. Obviously, Kieran Clark was the first. Was the big one, which everyone remembers. Where was our other red card, and who was it?
Who was the red card? Got me stumped here, like absolutely stumped. Who was on the red card? I can't remember anyone else being sent off.
With 2 yellows. Yeah.
Shelby, wasn't
Shelby,
it?
yeah.
Shelby.
Yeah.
We
We were very warm, so we probably only remember half it because that was the first game with the
Spurs.
takeover. Yeah.
Oh, he came off the bench, didn't he? He came off the bench and got sent off. I can't remember if he did or not.
I can't remember if he came off the bench, but
we had a
it was
few,
the
didn't we?
takeover game. We'd been out since Thursday or something. Shelby picked up 2 yellows against Tottenham. That was when we got to be 3-2.
Because I'm sure on the day I was defending them, and then looking back, I was like, "Whoa, they're shocking! They're shocking as them." Like,
okay, and question number 10. You haven't done too bad, here, mate. Question number 10. We picked up 2 monthly awards in the season. Who were they and what for?
Eddie Howe, Manager of the Month for February,
yeah.
And Jack Grealish's favourite, Miggy, for Goal of the Month for April.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
Get on
there you
that.
go, mate.
Bit of knowledge there for you, mate. I mean, I can't open this bottle.
Where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, you've had my
5,
life for that
6.
0. You've had my life for that clean sheet one, like.
So I'll give you half a point for that.
Ah,
I feel like I talked you out of that one. It's also teach you a lesson to be strong with the answer. So 7.5 out of 10, mate.
I'll take that, mate.
Good Sean. But yeah, I just thought I'd put that together just to bring back some of the big points of the season.
Aye, because we never did a season review, did we? Because there was a bunch done, weren't they, by
everyone was doing them. We did
and everyone's got their own opinions, but it's good to look back at some of the points. Like, I forgot how much. Like I was thinking about Woodman, and all I remember Woodman. I don't even remember the other games he played. All I remember him is getting absolutely smashed by Ronaldo. That one event where somehow the ball went through him.
Yeah, that.
You were stood there. How was it gone in?
Yeah. What did you? How did you manage to not? How did you manage to not let the ball touch you then?
And I managed to somehow get out of the way. I know Ronaldo kicks the ball really hard, but I bless him.
That game was just set up for Ronaldo and for us to be the whipping boys that day, unfortunately, wasn't it?
Was it this season when Darwin made the mistakes at Villa, or was that the season before? When it was like, I remember the season before when it was an easy opportunity to bring Dubravka back in and Bruce didn't. Must have been the season before, I think that.
Because the start of the season, Dubravka was injured, and that's when Danny Ings got goal of the month against Newcastle.
Aye,
It's like, was it a scissor kick volley thing he did?
From a throw in or something, long throw, honking goal. Like.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, quiz moving on. This Botman malarkey, which is carrying on, I think everyone's getting a bit sick of it now. We're not going to claim to be in the know account, as we put on Twitter a few times. We are a want to know account. So
they're now called ITKs.
Yeah.
ITKs. They're no longer in the nose. They're ITKs.
That's how cool they are. Anyway, ITK account. So we put a poll on Twitter. 3 options. Should we make it happen regards to the price? Pay it, but only if it's sensible, or move on. We had a few hundred people voting it. 20% said make it happen at all costs. 34% said had a sensible bid. And 46% said we should just move on. What's your thoughts, mate? We'll just keep this quite short and sweet because I think everyone might be fucking sick of Tottenham Botman.
I know. I think you just play the game. I think Newcastle play the game. He's obviously number one fullback target. Number one centre back target. They want him, and him choosing Milan over Newcastle is a no-brainer for anybody who's not a Newcastle fan.
Yeah.
So I've no issues with that whatsoever. If Lille want up the price, I reckon you just say the price is the price. There's probably nobody else willing to match it for.
Because I think it's gone from 30 to 36, isn't it?
It's a chunk in it. What's that? It's like 20%, I think. Bit of math there for you. So it's a chunk to add on to a price at the stage where he's kind of agreeing now, and it was formally agreed, and it was also agreed in January to then up the price, and they moved the goalpost in January allegedly several times. So my point of view is, you have your offer. What you don't want to do is consistently put, because people are like, oh, it's not them, or just pay the price. But you can't, because if everyone puts 10 million on every single sale, we'll only be able to buy 6 players instead of 10 players, because financial fair play comes into kick sometimes. So you don't want to be paying more than. We've had shrewd business with Trippier, with Byrne, with I mean, even Bruno's a snippet at 40 million, and then obviously with Target, I think you have that price. There's no other teams looking to match it. They'll come back to us by the end of the window, I reckon, or as it gets a bit, 2-3 weeks time. Yeah. And there's time Newcastle going to explore further options, and if there's somebody else that they go for, somebody else to go for. That's what I would do. I would be willing to say that's our money, that's what we're playing, and if they're in, because if he's your target, he's your target. You don't just walk away from the deal, because if they come back in 2 weeks' time, they put Newcastle going, oh no, that was 2 weeks ago now. So
because Ashworth was at the Holland, was it under 21s, under 23
with Wales, I think.
Yeah, he was there a few days ago. So they obviously are massively interested in him. I think you're right. Yeah, they've got to say, look, this is the deal. This is the deadline. Make the decision by them, because Newcastle's want to start looking for someone else if the deal's not going to happen. You can't just sit and wait till the end of the transfer window. You want to have not in the end of the transfer window. You want your squad, especially if he's going to one of your main centre halves. You want him in place like weeks before the Premier League kicks off. So you've got like a pre-season with your new centre half.
So pre-season is early July. Is it? Oh no, or is it end of July? 6 weeks. 6 weeks or something.
Well, it's 4 or 6 weeks. So it's going to be start mid-July.
Mid-July. Yeah. So really, you want him in place in the next 2-3 weeks. So in 2.5 weeks' time, because that's what deals don't get done that fast unless they're last day deadline things. But I'm sure Nick's will be exploring options. But if that deal, if you have that much money, because they obviously are happy to cash in on them, they're just trying to get as much as they can out of Newcastle now that Milan can't match that.
Because AC Milan, they've actually done everything on a budget to win the league. So that's why they kind of match what we're going for.
Mad, isn't it?
They haven't got the budget to play with that at all.
Win Syria and can't compete with
11th
place Newcastle.
They spent so I listened to another podcast which randomly halfway through changed to how Milan did it. They spent 70 odd million and spent half the transfer fees and agent fees of Juventus and Inter Milan over the last couple of years. They just did it through
Class that, like.
They did it through looking at other clubs in Europe who had fringe players that weren't getting a game and getting rid of their old players who were on top dollar. So
isn't Origi just gone there as well from Liverpool?
Yeah.
So he's just come in.
So did he go on a free because his contract was up? Was he?
Class by that, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'd do. The price is the price. We're not being held with a barrel because that'll just start the trend. And we need to set a stall early doors that we've got money and we want to spend it. But if you want it, that's a price. So that's what I would do.
We'll pay good money, but we're not going to have the piss taken out of us.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Ekatike,
thanks there. What's the latest lowdown? It looks like it went a bit slow. He pulled up with a second hammy.
It's not as bad as first thought, I think.
Yeah.
But would you be concerned over that?
Well, because my first thought was like, hang on, his hamstring's gone twice. He's only 19. Is that going to be a recurring problem? Then reports said that it's not as bad as they thought. It's going to be fine. Newcastle aren't worried about it. They expect the deal still to go ahead. So
I think it gets done. That.
You reckon?
Yeah, more confident of that. Again, I don't think he's mega sold on. I think like the kind of player that like would be chomping at the bit to be here in 2 years' time. But it's a lot for like a 19-year-old to be at the start of the thing. But again, I don't understand people like. So you see some people on Twitter and they're like, if they don't want to be here right now, then sod them. Go find somewhere. You kind of be like, they haven't supported this club since they were like 4, you know. Like they didn't know who Newcastle were until like 6 months ago. Do you know what I mean? Like we for the last decade and a half, we have been, except from one blip season, we've been a bottom half relegation fodder Premier League outfit.
It's like if some random team from Germany or France all of a sudden got bought out and had some money, like it's the equivalent of that the other way around, isn't it? Like they're not going to know who we are. We've not got a history of winning Premier League titles or signing worldies for 20 years. Big
club here in terms of England.
Yeah.
Because of the Premier League era, and we've been in for most all but 2 seasons of the Premier League. But globally, we're not the same brand we would have been like in the 90s. But we're breaking records for Shearer and stuff. But someone who's 19-year-old, he's not going to know pretty much now Shearer is. So
whoa.
Aye, other than he's got his shirt on the wall somewhere. So I've no issues with not being people's first choice when people come here. Like I put a tweet out the other day. Like I'm sure Kevin De Bruyne didn't give a shit about Man City 20 years ago.
Aye,
he didn't grow up thinking, well, one day I'll play for Man City. But you know, when he's getting 20 assists and 10 goals a season, I'm sure City fans don't care that he didn't know who they were 2 decades ago. So it is what it is. I think he'll sign. Ekatike. Not De Bruyne.
Not De Bruyne. I was going to say, it's just a breaking
in the no count.
In the lights, exclamation mark. The bomb going off. You heard it here first.
KDB coming to Newcastle.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that wraps everything up, mate, doesn't it?
Yeah, but a bit of a not quite because we've actually got a first bit of business done, but I'd like to get Ekatike and the Botmans done.
Saga done.
Yeah, Botman saga.
One way or another, just a yes or no, what's happening, and see what the next name is that pops up.
The only other thing is probably Gabriel Jesus. Like he's been sort of mentioned, and I think it's been.
Nah, I can't see it happening, mate.
Would you? I can't understand Newcastle fans turning their nose up.
Oh, I would have him like in a heartbeat. Like
no brainer.
He's played a bunch of games. We've been a regular in the Pep Roulette.
He's like a 1 in 3 striker, both internationally and for Man City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
grafts. Can play wide right. Can play up top. Can play wide left.
No brainer. I would have him, but I don't think we're going to
I don't think it is. I don't
pay
think
his wages, and he's probably about 2 seasons ahead of where we are.
I think so.
If we go top 8, top 6, top 4, he's he's a couple of seasons away yet before we sign.
Get all the Lukaku to chuff and get Jesus in. Or Lacazette replacement at Arsenal. That's what you'll go do.
No, that's not happening yet, I don't think. But
yeah,
we could spend another hour going through rumours, and I know we're trying our best not to. It's easy to get dragged into it because it is exciting to talk about it, but I'm happy to leave it there if you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for downloading, subscribing. Like we said, we've had some record weeks back to back, so we do appreciate every single person that downloads and subscribes. All the social media you can get us on. Again, we're on Spotify, we're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, Google Podcasts right now. You name it, we're pretty much there. So thank you very much for all the support. Please do share this with any of your friends and on social media. Just come along and say hi. Half Matt.
That's it, mate.
We'll leave it. NUFC talk. Cheers.